Hello, hello, and welcome to my next Let's Play with Diablo II, Lord of Destruction. And we are actually going to be playing it a little bit differently. We're going to be playing it what I call Live Off the Land style. It's kind of a variant of how I used to play it, sometimes for fun with some friends, and I'll explain the rules when I get into the game. So I'm going to be playing single player. Ignore all these are not anything relevant. So we're going to create a new character, and for this I'm going to be playing the Barbarian. Indeed. And just like any good Barbarian, you must name them Conan. And it is the Barbarian. So here we are in glorious 640 by 480. Hooray! Now I'm going to be playing this under the assumption you're either a little bit familiar with the story, or I'm going to be explaining it as we kind of go along. So I've kind of already set everything up. I just brought up my map here. I'll probably keep the map to the side instead of full screen. And here's our stash and everything, which we'll be using it for. So anyway, let's go get our first quest. We're from over here from Akara. And I'll explain the quest with what's going on. Yep, she's the healer. Basically, there's this den out there in, well, the Bloodmoor, and they're poised to invade the rogue encampment, which we have to help somehow. So, anyway, before I head out, what's going to happen with this is I'm going to have some rules while I play this game. Since this is called Live Off the Land, basically, I am going to be dependent on whatever I find out in the world. What does that mean? I'm only going to allow myself to go back to town once per act. Besides for backtracking, which I'll get into later, and obviously when I start a new game. Basically, at any one time per act, I'm going to allow myself to come back to town and use services that are provided in town, and also turn into any quests or anything like that. Unless it's mandated by the story. And then, if an item breaks, it's gone. I cannot repair it until, so that's going to require me to be on the lookout for items and kind of save them and be careful with that. I will be able to use a mercenary, but once again, I cannot, resurrect it unless I'm back in town. So I'm going to have to try and be a little bit strategic on when I head back to town. Early on in normal, it's going to be pretty easy, but it'll get a little bit harder, and I will try to clear as much as possible. And this is a skill shrine, which gives you +2 to skills that you currently have, but we have no skills right now, so we can't really do anything. So here we go. All right, yeah. So we have to be on the lookout for the Den of Evil and Eagle Orb. I would normally pick those up because it would sell well, but money's not going to be an issue with me. Well, actually, it might be, because when I do go back to town, I will be able to do some repairs, but not very many. So, ooh, superior leather gloves. And those will automatically go into your item if you have nothing equipped, so that won't be too bad. So my kind of goal with this character is I'm going to be using some shouts that normally you wouldn't. Kind of more of a defensive type character. There's no way I'm going to be able to beat through hell. I figure if I'm able to get through Nightmare, I will be looking pretty good. It'll be kind of tough. So our quest log was updated. We have to kill all the monsters here in the Den of Evil. Not that these zombies are going to be invading anytime soon, but potions. Those are throwing potions, which are not too bad early on in the game. Den of Evil, you have to kill every enemy in here, and anybody who's played knows when you get down to the last one, you can never find it. In fact, I swear I spent 15 minutes once searching for the final monster, and I could not find it at all. Okay, ooh, got a ruby, I'll go over that. Got some shaman right over here. These guys can raise these other fallen over here. Rejuvenation potions, those are a godsend. Love those. Then we got our first level up. So now we can increase our stats, and since I'm going to be playing Live Off the Land style, this is going to be very inefficient. Normally, yeah. So what I want to do is I'm going to do 3 to strength, 2 to dex. Oh yeah, we only get 5. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Forgot I meant to do some of the healing. And this is a well, restores health, magic, and stamina. So we got a skill point, and I want to put my first point into bash. So now my right skill slot, I'm going to hotkey it to A. I've already changed around my hotkeys. I don't use F1 through F8. It's Alright, key some more healing potions. Now, one of the reasons why I did pick the barbarian comes for a couple skills. One is actually find potion, which you can use on corpses, which we'll get to later because I don't have it. And another one is find item, which you can use on corpses. That what the find item will do though is pretty nice. Health shrine, which will heal us. Basically, if you kill a boss, you know, they will drop good items. Well, not necessarily good, but higher quality items. And if you use find item and it's successful, it basically redrops a boss. So it's like killing the boss a second time. So you get a chance for better loot, which is nice. Take the short sword, you never know. Another good thing about it too is it basically destroys the corpse. Meaning they can't be resurrected by enemies or anything like that. So what I did here, you might have saw something that changed, is I changed to walking. When you're walking, your defense stays the same. If you're running and you get attacked, your defense, I believe, drops by like 75%. And this is our first boss, Corpse Fire. He has Spectral Hit, which gives him, I think, 25% magic resistance, but it also gives him magical damage. Basically, I got poisoned. You saw that. So those blue items are magical, which you can identify. But, yeah, I'll take these javelins. These are good. And I got another level up. Nothing over here. Okay. So let's put a couple points into vitality. Ooh, yeah. We get 4 points per vitality as the barbarian. Quite nice. So, another reason why I chose the barbarian is it's going to require me to rely on my items. If you are a spellcaster, like the necromancer, it doesn't matter if you have items whatsoever. It doesn't. So I figured, keep this interesting. Let's play as barbarian. You know, let's require items. Good thing about these Fallen is when you kill enemies, they usually run too. So go for the shaman, and there you go. I know I have a skill point. Okay, quest log popped up. 5 monsters left. So let's keep looking. And, okay, War Cries. Now, I could get Find Potion, but I actually want to get Howl. It is our first War Shout, and I will probably put it to good use throughout this LP. Basically, depending on your level versus the enemy level, you can make them run. So, as you could probably guess, that can be really useful if I get surrounded. So we have 2 monsters left. Come on, no enemy. Hey, here they are. Perfect. Hooray! So what I was talking about with backtracking is, I'll show you what I mean. So we could return to Akara for reward. Let me drink from the well. But I can't. At least I'm not letting myself. So let's head out of the Den of Evil. How's our space looking in our inventory? Oh, not too bad. Okay, so I do have a scroll of identity because these blue items are unidentified, which are magical. So I'm just going to right click and get a cap that has more magic, and there we go. So durability is looking okay. Now there are items that do repair durability, so if I get lucky and get a decent item that has that, I'm going to be pretty happy. That's an item that I'm going to want to keep around. So that would be good. If I didn't mention it, I will try to do full clears of areas, or as much as I can. As a melee character, it's very important that you stay within levels of the monsters you're fighting, because if you don't, your hit accuracy just plummets really fast. And it's a little unfortunate thing if you're playing this solo like I am. Oh, here we get a sash, our first belt. And if you have a belt, it gives you more healing slots, which is really nice. And then you can just shift left click, and there you go. Now they're on the belt. So basically, I'm going to try and keep my level where it needs to be. Since I am playing single player, I could do, it's not really a trick, but if you press enter and type /players and put a number after that and press enter, you can modify how many players the game thinks are in here, which makes the monsters have more life, but they also give more experience. So I could pretend like there's 3 people in the game, but I'm just going to play exactly solo. So, oh, Flavia, I forgot. Let me talk to her really fast.
Beware. Beyond lies mortal danger for the likes of you.
Indeed. Okay. Alright, we're in our next area, our first real area, I would say the Cold Plains. And the waypoint is always here. So let me tell you what I mean by backtracking to save time. There will be a couple areas where I have to go backwards. Let's say, say I'm in the Black Marsh and I need to go back to the Dark Wood. Well, there's this big long tunnel in between the two. Instead of, just finding the waypoint and taking time and then going to the other one, I could just go to town and use the waypoint in town and immediately go back to the Dark Woods. Saves a little bit of time and saves you time, So I think that's fine. I'm not going to use anything when I'm in town when I do that. It's just purely for time's sake. So let's get killing. We got some more of these little fallen to take care of. If they do get resurrected again, they can't drop any items and they cannot give any experience. So it's not like Final Fantasy where you can let a summoner monster summon a monster over and over and over again where you kill it for tons of experience. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. I used to think it did when I first played the game, but then I quickly realized that it was not doing anything. I was such a hacker back then, let me tell you. Now we got some new enemies. I killed them very quickly. I didn't see what they were. I think they're, we'll see more of them. Yeah. Beginning of the game, pretty easy. Dark Hunters. My strategies, I kind of like to walk in, stay in place, let them come to me, and just hold shift and left click. Ooh, another scroll of identity. Let's identify that buckler we have. 5 to life, 14% enhanced defense. That's not bad. Go ahead and put it on. Durability 11 to 12, 7 to 12. And that might not be the best idea. I should probably save that buckler, but that's okay. Oh, that was a locked chest, and thankfully I had a key, but got nothing out of it. Nothing worthwhile, at least. Bolts are used for crossbows. I might actually end up using some ranged weapons. Oops. Gotta be careful where you click, depending on what I'm fighting. It can be, some enemies be pretty tough. Yeah, get a well here. Ooh, got a ring. Alright. But now I don't have an identity scroll. Rings are great because they have no durability. They're always indestructible. Same with amulets. You can also get items that are indestructible as well, which would be perfect if I got something that was actually good. But maybe not. One thing I forgot to show is these gems. You can put them in sockets and items, and depending on what you put them in, they have bonuses, like fire damage plus to life, depending on what you put them in. And they are used in recipes for crafting in the game, depending on the gem. Alright, here we got the cave, but I want to stay up here for right now. A little bit more killing I want to do. Aha! Now when I do, I'm not going to be able to obviously clear to the next area where I want to go. When I restart the game, it will respawn the enemies. So I'll try to not double kill a lot of enemies. I mean, I probably will have to stay up on levels, but I'll try to see what I can do to mess. So since I'm getting surrounded, what I can do is just switch to that and whee! Now, no problem. Well, they do run away. So, pretty effective. I like using it. And it's really not something you see a lot, at least. Problem if you play this online, if you're familiar with it. A lot of people have really the best stuff. And they are prepared with that. Ah, Monster Shrine. This turns closest monster into a boss. Ow. Okay, or... Alright, see, I'm going to get... There we go. So it turned this one into a ghostly. This is a champion type, which has physical resistance, and it can also hit you with cold damage, which is really deadly as a melee character. You do not want to be chilled as a melee character. That's what easiest death for you is right there. I'll pick up a mana potion. I'm looking for one boss I want to show off. The one good thing is when I do restart the game, though, like when I do my next episode, it keeps the same map. So I'll know where like everything is. Like, okay, this is where this was. Alright, we found him. Alright, so here we have a boss shaman dude. And his name is Bishop Boss. And he is fire enchanted, which gives him 75% fire resistance. And since he's a shaman, he has innate fire resistance, which makes him immune to fire. And he can also... pick that up, I have nothing. And he can actually also resurrect other shamans, which is unique. So I'm going to use Bash on him. And howl these guys away. And one more. Boom! Got him! And they also explode when they die. Something you have to watch out for. So let's clean these guys up. It's not too bad, the fire damage explosion. It actually used to be really, really, really bad. Why am I killing these guys? Get out of here. Got to find the shamans, because they keep resurrecting. There we go. Alright, any more shamans around here? Oh, but there's you. And you! And heal. Okay, so let's put a point into Find Potion. So I will put that as F1 because I don't really use Find Potion a whole lot. So it's not something I want to be on like my main active bars. I use A, S, D, and F as hotkeys, Z, X, V as hotkeys, then F1 through F5, I think. Alright, well this is a good place to stop for today. Next time we will go venturing down into the cave. And hopefully I'm going to try and hit level 6 before I do my next quest, which we don't know yet because I can't go to town. I had to talk to anybody. So I will see you guys next time, and thanks for viewing the first episode of Let's Play Diablo 2.